Welcome back to episode 4 of Tech Headlines Today, where we give you the top tech headlines in an easy listening podcast. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe or follow and we'll keep you in the know. Now let's get into it. How much money does Facebook earn from your data each year? Facebook may be free to use, but the trade-off isn't just annoying adverts. Your data is being harvested and sold for way more money than you might imagine. Most people understand that web services cost money to run, but don't read the terms of service before signing up. In return for free services, companies sell your data to other companies in return for displaying adverts. Data can be your name, address, gender, age, marital status, current location, make and model of the device you're using, and even more detailed information. You probably didn't know that Facebook earns up to $900 a year, roughly £670, by selling personal information about users. This week, researchers surveyed 1,000 adult Facebook users in the UK and found that they would be okay with receiving £250 per year for their data. But Facebook is giving it away for free. Facebook makes around $37 billion per year from UK users, and new companies like Let Alone promise to help you control what happens to your data. Privacy software such as VPN and antivirus software won't help you with Facebook, because you've already signed your rights away to that data, and it's pretty much impossible to get it deleted. Even if you don't sign in, your activity can be tied to you and sold. GDPR and CCPA laws are helping ensure data is managed and used appropriately, but there are many companies that have already been fined for breaching such laws. Sony to acquire Bungie, developer behind Destiny and Halo franchises. Sony is buying Bungie, which is behind Destiny 2 and the original Halo, for $3.6 billion. Sony's support will allow Bungie to hire more talent and develop new, quote, iconic franchises independently from Sony. Sony expects to make more acquisitions down the line, and they state, "We are by no means done. With PlayStation, we have a long way to go," says CIE CEO Jim Ryan in an interview. They're acquiring Bungie because of a shared vision and how they could work better together. Sony and Bungie share the goal of creating iconic franchises for fans across multiple platforms and entertainment mediums. US revokes China Unicom's license. The US government has stripped another Chinese telecom player of its license to provide telecom services in the country. The FCC has warned China Unicom that Beijing could access, store, disrupt, and/or misroute US communications and conducted state-backed cyber espionage through China Unicom. China Unicom America's lack of candor and reliability erodes the trust required by the FCC and other U.S. government agencies. The U.S. FCC ordered China Unicom Americas to stop providing its services within the U.S., and China Telecom is appealing the decision. The success of Web3 hinges on remedying its security challenges. Wei Lingdang is an investor in security, infrastructure software, and developer tools and was previously a co-founder of StackRox, a cloud-native security company acquired by Red Hat. In both Web 1.0 and Web 2.0, security models changed in tandem with application architectures to help unlock entirely new economies. Web 3 security challenges will require innovation to solve. This is the main reason why investment in new Web 3 security companies increased last year more than 10 times to over $1 billion. Users still use a front end to update data and are required to use a wallet to manage their transactions. This design has security trade-offs because it does not require actors to be trusted as in Web 2.0. However, users can still leak sensitive information using a wallet. Security concerns about Web 3 should not stop the Web 3 momentum. Web 3 security companies and projects are the equivalent of Web 1.0 and 2.0 code scanning and application security testing tools. Web 2.0 security models focused on response, whereas Web 3 security models focus on prevention. The National Vulnerability Database provides the core data for vulnerability management programs for Web 3 vulnerabilities, but incomplete information lives scattered across several places. Web 3's security decisions are made by the community and no one owns the problems. There needs to be a greater clarity regarding how DAOs, security experts, providers, and others collaborate to manage emergent security issues. The most prominent decentralized applications do not authenticate or sign their API responses, leaving users to determine their security posture and trustworthiness. Cryptographic keys underpin users' ability to transact in the Web 3 paradigm. They are notoriously hard to manage and lead to the use of hosted wallets, which are a compromise between usability and security. The first two initiatives require people and processes, and the third and fourth initiatives require new technology and a large number of users aligned. Cyberpunk maker working on a new single-player card game. The video game maker CD Projekt is working on a new single-player standalone game for the card game Gwent. CD Projekt's Gwent, the Witcher card game, released as a slightly positive surprise to investors who expect the game to have a positive impact on the company's results. Yes, we are working on the new Gwent title for single-player, which will premiere this year, Gwent's communication head Paulo Berza told Reuters in an emailed comment. At the moment, we cannot specify a release date. While your AT&T smartphone may suddenly stop working soon. AT&T's 3G network is shutting down on February 22nd, which could affect some unlocked smartphone owners who don't even know it yet. People buying phones that aren't designed for US networks are getting nasty surprises. All iPhone 6 and later models will work fine after the 3G shutoff. AT&T has provided a list of 4G supported phones. All three major carriers are decommissioning their 2G and 3G networks to make more room for 4G and 5G, but only AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon have whitelisted some phone models. Samsung sells a few different variants of their phones for different countries, and the unlocked U1 model may not be compatible with US carriers. Extending quadcopter flight time by adding wings. The VTOL aircraft, vertical takeoff and landing, designed by Peter Vicek, that fits in the palm of your hand, has a nose cone based on a quadcopter with a pair of wings just below the motor, and it could help foster new innovations in the field of unmanned aviation. The concept can be used for organ delivery or search and rescue. More research and experimentation is needed to unlock its full potential. A lab like the Gesau Center has a limited number of people, Vicek said, but the RC and small aircraft communities are huge by comparison. Getting more people involved in experimenting with quad-rotor biplanes can really accelerate the development process. Paradigm invests in Solana wallet app Phantom at $1.2 billion valuation. Wallets are a critical consumer touchpoint in the crypto ecosystem, and startups that build popular wallets are closest to the consumer. Phantom, a wallet app for the Solana ecosystem, has seen plenty of momentum, though the token is also being affected by the crypto crash. The crypto startup, which has 2.1 million active users, has raised $109 million in a funding round led by Paradigm on its $1.2 billion valuation. Phantom's next big ambition is to go multi-chain and add support for another blockchain to its wallet. Multi-chain compatibility brings expanded opportunities, but also challenges. Phantom plans to scale with new funding, though it has already been working on education features. The company is expanding its presence on mobile by rolling out an iOS app along with a new Chrome extension, and will release an Android native app in the coming months. Millman says the space is early from all perspectives and aims to help bridge the gap between consumers and professionals. Elon Musk offered a teenager $5,000 to stop tracking his private jet. A 19-year-old created a bot that tracked the location of Elon Musk's private jet. Musk was willing to pay $5,000 to get the bot to stop. Sweeney countered Musk's offer by asking for $50,000, but Musk said he'd think about it. Elon Jet on Twitter has over 208,000 followers and has helped Sweeney learn to code and gain a part-time job working for Uber Jets. This bot isn't doing anything illegal, as it's using data from the ADS-B exchange to cross-reference the plane's flight plan to a specific plane's destination. Gunfire in Oakland leaves 30,000 people without internet, TV, and phone services. Around 5 a.m. on Sunday, 17 shots were fired at the Eastmont Mall in Oakland. Multiple bullets pierced fiber cables. Thus, around 30,000 people were left without internet access, television, or phone services, and their home security systems went offline. Comcast apologized and promised to restore all services by 10 a.m. that morning. The police initially discovered the location of the gunfire using a ShotSpotter detection system. They discovered bullet casings and surveillance footage that confirmed the shooter. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. BlackBerry to sell patents related to mobile devices and messaging for $600 million. BlackBerry Limited said on Monday it will sell its legacy patents primarily related to mobile devices, messaging, and wireless networking for $600 million. BlackBerry said the transaction with Catapult IP Innovations will not impact customers' use of its products or services. The move comes weeks after BlackBerry pulled the plug on service for its once ubiquitous business smartphones, which were touted by executives, politicians, and legions of fans in the early 2000s. At the closing of the deal, the company will receive $450 million in cash and a promissory note for $150 million. Autonomous machinery coming to agriculture. With an average age of 59.5 among principal farm operators and just 9% of the farm workforce under 35, automation is helping agricultural workers to mitigate a labor shortage. Automated tractors are a natural candidate for automation as they follow relatively easy routes without other traffic. John Deere unveiled fully autonomous tractors that can till, plant seeds, spray products, and harvest without human intervention. Self-guided drones can fly over fields to analyze crop health and soil conditions, and automated moving sprayers can spray individual crops as needed. Skid steers are an example of less specialized equipment, which can be equipped with various tool sets depending on the current situation. Automation can now help streamline even the most delicate of produce, using vacuum suction or cushioned low-pressure grabbers to pluck fruits and vegetables from trees and vines without bruising them. Weeding traditionally takes time because workers have to manually pluck or poison weeds, but now automated machinery can speed up that process. Today's farm robots use brushes to suffocate weeds and apply herbicides or lasers to zap unwanted growth. Automation is the future of agriculture. As demand rises and worker shortages persist, more farms will implement automation, leading to a robotic future. An app developer's lawsuit over rejections and scammers is allowed to proceed, a judge rules. A lawsuit over App Store abuses by Apple has been given the green light to proceed to trial, at least on half of the claims. The case, filed in California's Superior Court in Santa Clara County last March, hails from app developer and former Pinterest engineer Costa Eleftheru, who claims his keyboard app FlickType intentionally, unfairly rejected from Apple's App Store, then later targeted by scammers once approved, leading to lost revenues. Eleftheru has questioned Apple about App Store scams, which have included a crypto wallet that scammed a user out of his life savings, and a game that actually contained a hidden online casino. Eleftheru claims Apple denied his Apple Watch keyboard due to the, quote, poor user experience it was offering, and then allowed competitors to launch on the App Store using the same keyboard. Apple approved FlickType in January 2020, but soon after scammers launched barely usable competitors, boosted by fake ratings and reviews, caused FlickType's revenue to drop to $20,000 a month. Eleftheru is looking to hold Apple accountable for the issues it had with rejections and lost revenue due to scam apps. Apple tried to get the entire case dismissed, citing similar lawsuits that were also dismissed, and failed to state facts in all 6 causes of action. The court overruled Apple's objections to the case and gave KPaw Inc. an opportunity to amend the case before moving forward with discovery. This particular lawsuit is worth tracking because it's an attempt to determine if Apple can be held accountable for issues involving app rejections and the prevalence of scam apps. Several smaller developers have sued Apple for antitrust, but KPaw versus Apple focuses on this specific App Store issue. GPUs can be exploited for privacy-invasive browser fingerprinting. Researchers from Israel, France, and Australia examined how a computer's graphics chip can be used to track browser activity on the web. A website can track your browser by using minor details such as the software version, screen resolution, fonts, time zone, and IP address. Using a computer's hardware to measure the minute differences across a GPU's execution units, academics created Drawn Apart, a way to fingerprint a user's computer. To create a GPU fingerprint, Drawn Apart times multiple rendering tasks and creates a fingerprint trace from the timings of the rendering tasks. The Drawn Apart technique uses the WebGL API to collect GPU data over a website, which can be abused to collect GPU performance data. The academics created a Chrome browser plugin that could be used to track fingerprints for 28 days. This increased the average fingerprint tracking time from 10.5 days to 17.5 days. Those that developed Drawn Apart claim that it can be used to tell apart indistinguishable devices. The Drawn Apart software can be stopped by blocking the WebGL API when it's not needed, or by disabling certain timer APIs. They warn that WebGPU, the successor to WebGL, could be exploited for GPU benchmarking that is near perfect and would only take 150 milliseconds to run. Crypto finance firm offers $2 million bug bounty to hackers. A hacker exploited a vulnerability in Quibbit Finance's code to convert a large amount of Ethereum into Binance coins worth millions. The firm offered its attacker a multi-million-dollar bug bounty. The firm pleaded with its attacker to return the funds, addressing them on Twitter. "Dear exploiter, we propose to negotiate directly with us before taking any further action," it wrote on Friday. "The exploit and loss of funds have a profound effect on thousands of real people. If the maximum bounty is now what you are looking for, we are open to have a conversation. Let's figure out a solution." The firm offered the attacker a bug bounty of $1 million, and then over the weekend raised that bounty to $2 million. Quibbit Finance is enabling affected users to access their digital wallets to file reports with local police, but there is little hope of getting their money back. Meta brings 3D avatars to Instagram, rolls out new options for Facebook and Messenger. Meta is adding new avatars to Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger, including the ability to wear cochlear implants and over-the-ear hearing aids in several colors on all platforms, including VR. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the company is updating avatars with more expressions, faces, skin tones, wheelchairs, hearing aids, as well as digital clothing. Users can now use the same avatar on different platforms, including Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and VR. Users can choose to support the Cincinnati Bengals or the Los Angeles Rams for Super Bowl 56. The metaverse version includes virtual worlds, AR, and more. Meta is launching avatars across its platforms, beginning with Quest. Meta released new avatar options for eyes, noses, beards, and hairstyles, and will release fourth quarter and full year earnings on February 2nd. NetSuite brings real-time forecasting to cash management. Oracle NetSuite has added 2 new dashboards to its ERP suite, providing real-time forecasting and analytics for small and medium businesses. NetSuite Cash 360 is an automated software solution for managing cash as a service and allowing businesses to quickly adjust cash flow forecasts based on things that might happen. Many companies are working to fund projects and business operations without seeing cash beyond 60 to 90 days, and there is no out-of-the-box product in the market like NetSuite Cash 360. Parmenter said that the best way to gain actionable insights from a mountain of transactional data is to have your insights live in the same place as your transactional data. NetSuite Project 360 offers an additional layer of visibility and reporting enhancements for projects. When do Doctor Strange 2 tickets go on sale? Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be the first horror-inspired film in the MCU and will draw on plot points from the first Disney Plus series WandaVision. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has a release date of May the 6th, 2022, and we expect to see tickets go on sale around the middle of April. Doctor Strange 2 will eventually come to Disney Plus, but not as soon as Shanghai and Eternals. Stanford engineers create perching bird-like robot. Birds are able to land on just about any branch. Stanford University engineers have developed technologies inspired by animal abilities. "It's not easy to mimic how birds fly and perch," said William Roderick, PhD, graduate student in both labs. Researchers in the Kutkovsky lab and in the Lentink lab used a perching robot called Snag to compare different types of bird toe arrangements and to measure microclimates in a remote Oregon forest. Researchers used 5 high-speed cameras to record parrotlets who flew back and forth between special perches. The same landing pattern for every bird, no matter what the surface it was landing on, is why the S in Snag stands for stereotypical behavior. Snag is a peregrine falcon-based quadcopter with 3D printed legs, motors, and fishing line for muscles and tendons. Each Snag's legs has a motor to move back and forth, another to handle grasping, and a mechanism to convert landing impact energy into grasping force. Roderick moved equipment, including a 3D printer, from Stanford to Oregon, where he set up a basement lab and sent Snag along a rail system to see how it performed. Snag performed so well that researchers will likely focus next on improving its situational awareness and flight control, and using the robot to perform searches and rescue and wildlife monitoring. That's it for this episode of Tech Headlines Today. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.